Good morning, y'all, and welcome back to Apron Strings. I'm going to do a vegetable casserole today, and I'm going to do out of yellow squash, baked yellow squash, and it's very, very yummy. So I'm going to get y'all over here to the butcher block to see how we do it, and then I'll get it in the oven and get it cooked, and then we'll have some of it for our meal today. So y'all get on over here and get your spot so you can see how we do this. You can make some for your family. Vegetables are healthy for you. Okay, my hands are clean, my utensils and my vessels are clean, and I've washed my squash, and I'm just going to cut the ends off of it, and then I'm just going to cut it in chunks or slices to cook it because we're going to kind of mash it for the baked casserole. I like to show y'all things that are not just something you have to grow yourself or that's seasonal and you can't get. Now in our area we can get yellow squash, zucchini squash year-round. So this is something that when you decide you want vegetables on your table, this is something that you can buy to cook. So I'm just going to take it and cut it just in pieces, no certain size. And I didn't weigh this to make sure I had 5 pounds, which is what my recipe calls for. I just buy a mess of squash and then I decide what I'm going to do with it. I don't like that color on there, so it can go off. It went right on off the butcher block. I can pick it up. There went another one. Man, brave little pieces, they want to swim, I guess, and there's no water down there. So I'm just going to get this all cut up and in the pot, cook it till it's tender. It won't take long to assemble the casserole and get it baked. It will have some raw eggs in it, so it'll need to bake probably 30-40 minutes. Okay, I'm just going to cover my squash with water and cook it till it's tender, and then we'll be back and do the next step. Okay, while the squash is cooking and getting tender, we'll put everything else together. We need 2 eggs, and they just need to be beaten up a little bit where they'll mix with everything. And I need 1 stick of melted butter, and I'm using my little OXO silicone. They're not hot, and this has been in the microwave melting. I love to use them because it don't burn your hands. We need 1/4 of a cup of sugar. We need 1 cup of breadcrumbs. Now I usually like to use yeast bread rolls that I've made or that I pick up at the chicken place or something. But I didn't have any, so this is the Hawaiian sweet rolls that I'm using this time. And I need to get 2 tablespoons of onion out of that chopped onion there. I was thinking it was 1/2 cup, but this recipe calls for 2 tablespoons, and I'm going to put heaping because I like onion. And then we're going to need a little bit of salt and pepper. I told y'all that Sir La Table didn't have these ratchet grinders in stock anymore. Well, I guess they've restocked because I was looking on their website and they do have them. They're $19.95. You can order them. So if you're interested in getting you one, now you know. I'm going to put about a teaspoon of salt in here, maybe 1/2 teaspoon, and we'll just see. Don't want it too salty, but it has to have some salt in it. Now, Y'all know me. The recipe does not call for onion powder, but I am going to put about a tablespoon of onion powder in it, just for the extra flavor. So, if you don't watch the video, you don't learn the little extras that I may be doing. And I'm going to put a half of a teaspoon of garlic powder. Okay, let's check our recipe card. We've got the squash cooking. We need 2 eggs, a cup of breadcrumbs, a stick of melted butter, 1/4 of a cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of onion, and salt and pepper. So just as soon as the squash gets soft, we will mash it up and stir it all together. Put some breadcrumbs on the top and get it in the oven at 350 until the breadcrumbs are lightly browned and it's bubbly. Okay, I've got my squash in. I drained it really well, and I'm just going to kind of break it up some, mash it around a little bit. I like for it to still have a little bit of texture to it, not just be a pudding-like. But I don't want big old whole slices in there. Okay, I have pammed or sprayed with kitchen spray my 9x13 dish. And I'm just going to add my squash to it, and then I'm going to put breadcrumbs on the top. This is so yummy. Simple but good. A good side dish to go with a piece of baked fish or baked chicken or whatever meat that you decided, even roast beef dinner or chicken fried steak dinner. It's a good side, good vegetable side. Okay, I've got my breadcrumbs over here. You can toast your breadcrumbs. I didn't. I'm just going to sprinkle them on and let the oven toast them as the squash cooks. Didn't say how many. And I just always put them till I cover it, and what happens, some of them go ahead and soak up some juice, so I have a little bit of extra. Okay, you know what? I didn't heat my oven again, so I'm going to heat my oven to 350, and then I'll get it in there, and I'll be back when it's done, and I'll show y'all what it looks like, and I'll plate some of it up. Okay, y'all, I got the casserole out. The breadcrumbs browned on the top. I did not put butter on them or anything. I just sprinkled the breadcrumbs. And then here's what I plated up. And let me just tell you, it tastes wonderful. Boy, there's another one. Put it in your files. It's delicious. I like squash just about any way it's cooked. When I was a kid one time, now I've talked about Aunt Audrey a lot. And she could just cook anything. She could go look in a window when you used to could go and window shop on Main Street and see a dress and go home and cut a pattern out and copy it. She was just talented. She could grow a garden. She could do anything. But anyhow, went to her house one time as a kid, and I probably wasn't 6 years old, but I remembered it. She had taken squash and cooked it and mashed it because they didn't have food processors and all that back then, and she made a pie out of it, and it tasted like a custard pie. You'd never know there was squash in it. So all my life I've realized that you can use squash for a lot of different things. It pretty well takes on the flavor of what you put it with. It's a good filler for like a casserole, but it has its own unique flavor too, just to cook squash like this. Or you can just put your squash like we did in a little water and season it with salt and pepper, and maybe you could saute an onion first or put your onion in with it and just let it all cook till it's soft. It's very good. So this is just another way to cook squash. I hope y'all will try it. It's a good side dish. I could make a meal on it. It's good. Good Lord bless and keep y'all. We're entering into a new era, I think, in the United States. I don't think things will ever be the same that they've been before. All I know to do is ask the good Lord to protect us, watch over us, have His way, keep us safe, and bless the things that we do. He's ultimately in control, so we have to accept what He has decided and go forward and live our lives to the best of our ability. Let Him shine through, because there's going to be people that, doesn't matter which side of the political fence you're on, there's going to be people that aren't happy and they're worried and they have anxiety, etc. And if you'll just let the peace and the joy of Jesus shine through, it'll sure help calm their world. So y'all try to just stay calm no matter what's going on in your life, whether somebody has COVID or somebody has something else, or what you're dealing with. Just trust the good Lord. He's been there. He knows what's going on. He didn't wake up this morning surprised. He knew already what was going to be on our plate today. So keep that in mind and don't stress. Just relax and enjoy each day. It's called the present because it's a gift. We're not promised tomorrow, but we have today. Make it count. Remember our New Year's resolution? We're going to get all the joy out of every day that we can, because we may not be here tomorrow. God bless y'all. Come back in a day or two and we'll have something else good to eat.